organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more. Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends Friday, May 16th.
See Home Club for details.
Welcome in to We Talk Facts with 9-year NBA veteran and Nebraska basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and 2-time Nebraska football national champion Clester Johnson. Talking and taking names in sports and day-to-day living. Sit back, relax, and join the show with 9-year NBA vet and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland, and two-time Nebraska football national champion Clester Johnson.
Yo, we in the house. WTF. We're back at you a week later. We want to welcome everybody out there on all platforms. My man Strick, for some reason, is having issues. He can't hear, and we're trying to figure out if we can get the technical difficulties taken care of. You got to take care of here?
A strict problem that he's dealing with. Erick Strickland, double check your settings there as he gets it figured out. Clester, I can hear you just fine. How's it going on a beautiful Thursday?
You know, it's wonderful, and we're finally getting some consistent weather all across the Midwest, it seems like, and I'm just quite, something about the sun makes me happy. How about you, Harrison?
Doing fantastic. Yeah, as always, had a little bit of Thirsty Thursday. Shout out Kevin Myers, cork in bottle. He came in earlier, had a little bit of wine, an interesting one-off IPA. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of it, but no, it was fantastic. Other than that, hopefully we can get Strickland in here as I see you.
Are you old enough to drink, Harrison?
Yeah, I'm older than many would think there.
But here, let's just we'll roll until Eric can get online. One of the things we're going to start off with today. But again, thank everybody that's on Facebook. If you on Allo, if you on YouTube. What am I missing? What else? Twitter,
Facebook, X, Al Channel 961. If you're on Allo Cable on YouTube. Yep.
Tune in because I'm telling you, you don't want to miss these WTF shows. I mean, these shows are fabulous. We get hype. We don't hold back. And it's going to be the same thing today. So, today, Harrison, my friend Eric is a huge conspiracy theorist, right? And if there's a big thing where we differ, it's conspiracies. But today's show is dedicated to my friend who's back. Now he's back in the house. You got your audio working, Eric?
Yeah, it had unplugged from the headphones, so I wasn't able to hear. So I was wondering, what's going on? So I finally checked, and I said,
user
error. But
let me finish this thought, Eric. Let me finish this thought. I'm gonna turn it over to you. My friend Eric, listen, he comes to me with some fabulous theories. The guy goes in depth and they're well thought through. And sometimes it takes me a while to catch up. I got to admit, it takes me a while to catch up sometimes. So today's show is dedicated to Eric. It's all about conspiracy theories surrounding the NBA in particularly. But if we want to shy off and go somewhere else, we can. So that being said, Erick Strickland, welcome back. Tell me how you doing this week.
So here, hey, thank you guys always for joining us. Thank you also. Clester is wearing one of our WTF shirts. Thank you to Shauna Snyder and her sister as well for the purchase and the promo via Facebook. We appreciate that shout out as well, and to all that have purchased and those orders have gone out. We appreciate you guys and supporting us here at WTF We Talk Fact. Now, here's the thing. Everything is a conspiracy until it's not. Right? So then, so what? My question then becomes, what is it when it becomes truth? Because not all conspiracy theory is a conspiracy, right? There's a lot of things that people said just over the COVID time frame that they said were conspiracy theories. So what happened? So my question is, I'm not trying to get into the depth of that because we're going to talk specifically about the NBA stuff, and you're going to throw that out there. So I'm not going to dig in.
I got to answer to you.
My question becomes, what is it when it's not at some point?
So here's how I define conspiracy theory in my mind, right? I am a part of the
So is the definition off?
I mean, are we there? So is it a definition issue? Is it something that maybe needs to be tweaked, or is it just be for individual people? First, answer that. Like, what do you think about that?
I think conspiracy theory is an individualistic point of view for most people. But Harrison, while I'm talking, can you look up what the definition of conspiracy theory is? Let's look that up now. And once you get it, let me know you got it. But that being said, typically to me, what I define a conspiracy theory is when the masses are not in tune. So the most of us don't really know, and it's not backed by real facts with people with credibility, with someone who is involved, right? When there's
stay right there.
Yeah.
Stay right there for me, right there. Okay. So what becomes the arbiter of truth that makes who's credible? So, like, for example, what makes the news credible just because they're on TV, right? So you're hearing something and then you're taking it in as factual because you believe in the credibility of the person. But is the person actually credible? Because so forth and so on. Okay, go ahead. That's where I'm kind of thrown off.
Well, the name of our show is We Talk Facts, right? And typically for myself, again, it's got to come from an actual factual person, again, involved with the situation. That being said, NBA, Tim Donaghy, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us would be like, man, referees don't be throwing games. Referees don't be cheating. Now, when he came out and actually talked about things that he did, it's no longer a conspiracy. Because my man Rasheed Wallace was saying, man, these refs are throwing the game. Man, these refs are throwing the game. And until that point, the masses would say, man, you just a sore loser. There is no credible evidence that this is actually happening until there was credible evidence from an actual person involved, and it can show you some real facts of the case, which resulted in him losing his job, resulted in him becoming a pariah to the NBA. You know, you have to work your way up, Eric, to become an official. Like, there's a lot of things that they got.
I was in that.
Yeah.
I was in G League training, so I know what you're talking about.
So, you know, it's almost like being a doctor. You know, there are some people who have to go through undergrad, they go to medical school, they go to residency, then all of a sudden they become a doctor, and then you get busted for opioids. You know, like, that's what makes me sometimes go, that can't be real, right? This person did not work their way up this far to throw it away, right?
See, that's the thing. But there's corruption in everything.
Absolutely.
And there's that word. There's that word that they say. It says corruption corrupts, and absolute corruption corrupts absolutely, or something like that, right? Because there's levels of power, or there's levels of influence that puts you at the crossroads, Cless. It sticks you at the crossroads where there's a decision that you and all of us at some point have been tempted, tested, that we have to make. In marriage, to some of them, it's I want to debt. In some, it's I stay faithful. In business, in some businesses, it's I want to bring in all these people and start siphoning off the money, and then in others, I'm going to stay integral. I mean, so it seems that it can always happen sometimes. It's presented to happen.
Let me read this. Conspiracy theory: a belief that some secret but influential organization is responsible for an event or a phenomenon. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They sought to account for the attacks in terms of a conspiracy theory. So
okay, quick. I'm just gonna throw this one out. Now, again, we're not going into anything, but it's something that came to play, and it speaks to, I think, to the situation. For a while, people was going crazy when they were talking about like just that the COVID situation was from a wet market, from the wet market. And if you came against that and said that it was something different, you were labeled a conspiracy theory. And then, so what happens when then it finds out that it did come from a lab?
Okay. That is a magnificent point you just brought up, Eric, because it's almost like when a person goes to court and gets shown not guilty, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The retract.
OJ tempted.
No. That's a bad one. That's a bad
one.
That's
okay.
Let's say, for instance, Johnny Depp, right?
Okay, good. You know, I like that.
Johnny Depp was shown before the case, he was getting smashed, right?
Right.
Everybody thought he was going down until the case come out and people go,
right, man,
not guilty of none of this stuff, right? But the retraction is usually small. So the same with conspiracy theories, right? Once they're proven correct, the people just usually go, hey, it was correct. They were right. Nobody ever goes back and go, you see, I was right. And nobody ever goes, you know what? You were right, Eric. Your conspiracy was correct. People usually don't say that. They usually don't say that. But
yeah, I mean, because like they did that to Joe Rogan. You know, I mean, we listen to the Joe Rogan show. Yeah. We tap in, and they did that to him. They made him look like he was taking horse stuff.
Yeah,
and people was going in on him until, and you're right, there was no large statement or the people on The View or CBS and all these people that put these big stories out. None of them came back and said, you know what, Joe, you were right.
They're never going to retract.
Right. And why is that? That's crazy.
Eric, listen, we all like to justify is what I call it. It's called the justification of life. We all justify, or it's never my fault. It was bad information. It was something I heard here that found out it wasn't that credible. A lot of things, or people just move on because, as you know, news cycles only are about a week or two, and then it's something new going on. Like nobody cares about what Joe Rogan was talking about back then. But Eric, that being said, we're talking about conspiracies. One of the big ones that's going on in the NBA right now is the Dallas Mavericks, your former team, right? The one that should put your jersey up in the Raptors, right?
WTF. You want a WTF this one, huh?
That being said,
literally
they trade away a life-changing player. What do they call it? A generational talent. They trade him away to the Lakers. Some people go, was that orchestrated for a big player to go to a big market, right? A bigger market, which is, you know, Dallas is LA is the second biggest market. You trade Luka in conference to a bigger market, and Dallas turns around with a 1% chance gets the number one pick. Do you know how many people are, even myself, Eric, I was not a conspiracy theorist at all. But I'm going to tell you what, nobody was talking about the Dallas Mavericks as getting the top pick. I mean, they was way down the list of potential franchises that could get the top pick. But they ended up getting the top pick of the draft. Eric, please talk to me. Give me your theory. Make it make sense to me. Just make it make sense.
All right. It would have been even worse if it was San Antonio. Let me just say that. It would have been mad worse. It's bad. But it would have been way worse, and San Antonio was right there. So now, I'm not going to speak from theory, conspiracy. That's what we're talking about today on WTF. I'm not going to speak from that. I'm going to speak from inference. Let me take it from an inference, so that way it removes the conspiracy theory, and then you can kind of just track each situation, and then you can make an inference as to whether or not you believe it one way or the other. Let me just say that. So if you go back and you track everything down, right? There's a few things, and this is just me. And again, I like what you said about how it makes it personal. It's not a lock and stock in the specific definition, but it's the definition how it relates to you personally that creates it to make it a conspiracy theory. And what is the criteria that does that? Okay. So if I go back and I track this whole story and I look from the beginning, selling of the team from Mark Cuban to the Adelson family. Adelson family takes over. There's something about the Adelson family that has a desire and a want. I know personally that there's a hatred. Let me not even say hatred. There's a dislike between Mark Cuban and Ross Perot Jr. They were once partners in the sale and the acquisition of the Mavericks. Ross Perot then split. Mark Cuban becomes lead owner, or the majority owner. And Ross Perot did something snaky. And I love him because he signed me to my deal. But he did a little something snaky where you have an arena on Victory Plaza sitting right there. And all around it, there's hotels, apartments, and there's nowhere to park. So it really doesn't bode well for an arena venue. It's a lot of frustration, traffic. Even if you live there, it's frustration because during games, you probably don't want to go nowhere because of the fact. Okay, let me move on. So now, Mark, at one point, the lease ends in 2030, I believe, or 2035. He wanted to move it across the street because across 35 on the other side, Mark owns a good majority of that. So he was looking at options there, and then, just letting that building go into muck. That's the background of the beef. Okay. Adelson's come in. Adelson's want something. Mark is good. He's getting a little bit older now. I think he's just like, let me go in and collect my dough. I made a great investment here. Let me cash in. Boom. Not thinking that the Adelsons would ever send the team down the road. Because see, the Adelsons are not basketball lovers. Mark is a basketball lover. So you have a basketball lover and you have high-end businessmen and women. I think she's the head. That come from Vegas. And they really wanted a team in Vegas. You have the T-Mobile Center there, whatever. They really wanted a team there, but in order to get in the game, they also want to expand because I think they own the Venetian and the likes of them. They want to expand and open up shop for gambling right in Texas. They feel that it's a takeoff market and they get it undercut. They don't get the deal done. They're not able to get their casino arena built. And so now you're looking at your businessmen. You're not basketball men. Mark Cuban never sends Dirk never sends Luka to LA. It doesn't happen. But you're a businessman. Now you're saying, I might have to pay this dude almost $500 million, close to $500 million. Nico, what you think? Well, I mean, he is the guy that got us there. And I don't know. I haven't talked to Nico about this, even though Nico's my friend, but I'm just inferencing. I'm not conspiracying. I'm inferencing, looking at. So now you're looking at a situation where Nico says, well, maybe a shape issue. You know what I mean? Can we trust it? Do we really want to expend that money? I don't know. I actually think they probably forced it on Nico. I don't think Nico probably wanted to do it either. I think it was probably forced on him, and he had to take the downfall. And I think they gave him an extra deal after that. So there's a little payola possibly to take the brunt of everything that's about to come down on you. Okay, so now he goes. You don't have to pay them, and LA don't have to pay it either because LA only has to pay him a certain amount of the max because he was with his own team. It would have been like 3 something, and it's only going to be like almost 2 something, right? As opposed to 3 something. So now that's where we are. Inference. Now all of a sudden, the team starts tanking, but this is a business tank. They wanted the bad press, I believe. So I'm not going to speak on, I believe they wanted the bad press because they want to force the hand of the Texas legislator, because I believe they were going to tell them, we're going to take the team out of here. They don't like us here. They don't want us here. They're banning in the street. They coming against us, but it's the fourth highest market. So you can't really do that. It's bad business to do that. So now you've got to revamp. You've got to revamp the organization somehow, some way. And there's another generational talent by the name of Cooper Flagg sitting on the precipice of jumping into the draft. And voila, that's all I'm going to say. It's very possible that it was, if you send them, we'll return the favor. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's very possible that it could be as a part of an inference.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would take, and this is blasphemous, and I'm gonna say it anyway, because I've had some crazy takes on here, and I'm gonna give you another one. I'll take Cooper Flagg over Luka. Yes.
I think he has more upside potential. Go ahead. I think he does too.
First of all, I watched Cooper. It don't take you long to see that he has that it. He has an it factor.
He just turned 18.
And his body type and everything. Mm-hmm. The only thing you can't control in NBA is injuries. But I'm gonna tell you what, they got potential to have a Dirk Nowitzki type player.
Yep.
With a little bit more athleticism. I think that Cooper is pretty athletic. Eric, let me throw this out at you, okay? Because let's stay on conspiracy theories. Through the years, there's been some real conspiracies out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had your Draymond Green suspended during the finals, while you're playing against LeBron, right?
Mm.
You've had I'm looking at
Rashid technicals, the whole Portland, LA. Mm-hmm.
So big markets, like you hear about referees wanting bigger market teams to be in the finals.
I think it goes beyond the referees, but okay, you're right.
I'm just saying, I've heard all kind of crazy stuff during my NBA life of viewing, and it's like you got team relocation controversies. You have fines and suspensions, selective TV replays, accusations of network biases. There's even one talking about a microfiber game ball. We talked about the referee gambling scandal.
You're talking about with magnets in it?
How about this one? This is the one I wanted to get to, though. Sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
How sometimes guys, people, I always hear people go, man, I put money on the game, and for some reason they didn't kick that field goal, or they didn't make them last 2-3 points at the end.
Or they hurried up to kick the field goal, and you didn't have to do it. Get the field goal. What? Get the field goal. That stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that being said, Eric, sports betting. How much of that you think plays a part in the outcomes of games?
So, again, I'm not going to get into specifics of it because it's based on the definition that you just shared with me. It's unattainable for us to come to a conclusion because we don't have our Tim Donaghy in these specific instances, right? I think I talked about on the block, I said, there's some things that, boy, oh boy, if I had information, if I was sitting in the NBA office, I said this, and then we're gonna go to break and we're gonna come back and answer that question. I'm gonna let you reframe it, and then we're gonna answer it in the next segment in continuation. And I'm just gonna say this point, but check this as we get out of here for the first segment. I said if I was sitting in the NBA office, Clester, and I heard, and I was a fly on the wall, and I heard some of that information, and I was able to get some tea and some documentation or an email or whatever, I would have my flight booked to nowhere you gonna know. And I would have routing instructions that sent the money to 5, 6, 7 different places before it lands to where I can touch that, bring it back, and that Busta Rhymes. And then I'm on the first thing spoken when TMZ releases it. I'm on the plane before my passport could be all. I'm out.
Let me say this before we go. 2 things I love to come back with. If you want me to ask that question again, I can.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of WTF facts of the week I'd love to throw out. And if we at the last segment, if we just want to touch on Diddy, just touch it. A lot of people discuss it. If we can do it at a high level, non-controversial route. So I say we come back, WTF facts of the week. A lot of really good facts I'd love to throw out at you, Eric. And then I'm sure the world would like to know, what's your thoughts on P. Diddy?
Take that.
So Harrison, is Harrison going to take us away? Harrison going to take us away?
Yeah, we can throw the break right here. We talk facts. Clester Johnson, Erick Strickland. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers, and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town. Schwezo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwezo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Absolutely. We back. WTF, We Talk Facts. Strick in the building. But I'm in the D-Town. Y'all send up love, prayers, thoughts, good spirit. Stricky's going to be hitting the road, taking Missy Lane Strickland, my mom, back to Alabama. She's going back to Opelika, Auburn area to live out the glories of her last half of her beautiful life. And so it's going to be a long drive. I'm up for it. I'm ready, but I had to come and chop it up with my peoples before we did. Clester's got some big things on deck. We talk facts of the week. What we got on deck, my boy?
You know, we're going to center this. We're going to keep this centered around basketball and the NBA. I got some facts that I would love to throw out to you and Harrison and see if you guys know the answers to these facts. As of 2025, the shortest person to ever play in the NBA. Would you guys happen to know that answer?
Up until 2025?
Up until today, who's the shortest person that's ever played in the NBA?
Got to be Muggsy, right?
I'm going to say Muggsy.
Muggsy Bogues. See, listen, I'm starting off.
Yeah, with the year, I see you.
Real simple, and we're going to work our way up. We're going to work our way up to something that's a little tougher. Shaquille O'Neal only made how many three-pointers in his career? Shaquille O'Neal. Let me throw this at you.
3.
Is it?
You see the hateration? You see the hateration? The hateration kicks him out of the building, Harrison. You see how it go? You know what I'm
saying? Give me the under on that for 3.
You going under?
I'm gonna take the under. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaq never made a 3.
No, he's made one. I've seen him make one, but I've something in my spirit says there was a time when he was playing around and he took one. He made one. There was a time where he literally made one, and then.
All right, I got the number pulled up. How many do you think he attempted in his career?
3.
He attempted 22. How many do you think he made?
3.
1 for 22.
It was 1. Oh,
yeah.
I knew I seen him make one, but so I thought he had got a couple in there.
Yeah, no, 3 is too much. Well, we don't got Clester anymore. At least, well, I take that back. Clester Johnson, you dipped on us for a second. I don't know.
Hey, Harrison, here's what it is, my boy. You ready? He got to get off that Boost Mobile.
No.
That Boost Mobile email. I mean,
absolutely not. I am at home on that.
You got that cricket.
Pure I don't know what happened. Listen, I have no clue what happened there. Shaquille O'Neal. We got to answer. We got to answer that one.
Yeah, we pulled it up on the jitterbug.
Why? Hey, stop looking up. Hey, stop looking up the answers. Stop looking up the answers. Eric, in 1996, when you made it to the NBA, right? Your first year, right? 96? That's your first year, Eric? Did Eric freeze on us?
You got to be kidding me. You guys make the show so hard every Thursday. I got a couple of knuckleheads.
Eric froze on us. I was going to ask Eric, who won the slam dunk contest in 1996?
96.
Who won the slam dunk contest?
Jordan?
Eric, you froze on us. You froze on us, Eric.
1996. I'm going to say.
Who won the slam dunk contest?
96. That was
Don't be looking up the answers, Harrison.
I'm not. I'm going to say. Go ahead, Harrison. You got a guess?
Is it Jordan? Was that 96? Was that his year?
No.
You're never going to guess who won.
I'm going to say D. Brown.
You ready?
Yeah.
Brent Berry.
Brent Berry in 96, huh?
Brent Berry.
He did the free throw joint. I didn't know it was 96, though. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this one is as of 2021. This is as of 2021. I don't know if it's changed, but as of 2021, who was the youngest player to ever play in the NBA? The youngest player to ever play in the NBA. When he came in, he debuted at what age?
Luka.
You say
Look
Luka?
at the guys who skipped high school or college. Kobe did it.
No.
Would have been
It was either Jermaine O'Neal, Jonathan Bender. It was one of them cats.
Okay, all right. I like where y'all were going. I like where you're going. Andrew Bynum.
It was Andrew Bynum with the Lakers.
Just turned 18. I mean, freshly 18 when he got into a game. Just turned 18. All right. What was Kobe's famous last words when he retired? He used it in his speech.
Mamba out.
Yeah.
I knew you should have got this. Here's a tough one. Which player? I ain't gonna give his nickname because that might give it away. This player has played in more consecutive NBA games than any player in the NBA or ABA. This player still has the record.
Tim Donaghy.
Played in the most NBA games in a row.
It's not fundamental.
Matter of fact,
it's AC Green.
AC Green. Eric, don't be looking him up.
I did it. I played AC. I know.
Don't be looking him up.
My hands are right here. I ain't typing nothing. I played with AC.
I was also going to say he had a Jerry curl and he was a virgin. You got that one. Okay. What is the highest grossing basketball film of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question. Coach Carter.
No, it's Glory Road.
No. Is that your guess?
Oh, Space Jam.
Glory Road?
Space Jam. Very, very good, Harrison. Very, very good. Okay.
My gold sticker? Don't say it like that. Come on now.
Okay. Commissioner Stern fined this player repeatedly for wearing his own shoes. Who was that player?
I don't know who that'd be.
Stephon Marbury?
AI?
He wore his own shoes in NBA games, and he was just like, Commissioner was like, no.
Stephon Marbury?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when those Jordans first came out, he was getting fined. And guess what? Nike was paying for his fines. because it was free advertisement. They felt the fines were, they basically was like, this is paying for advertising for us. So Mike, keep wearing the shoes. We'll pay for your fines, but this is free advertising for us. And look what happened. Look what happened to him. Where we at on time, Harrison? Where we at?
We got time for about a couple more.
Okay. The only NBA game to be forfeited by rain happened in which city? Which city had the forfeited game due to the rain?
I'm just use geography. Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle.
I was going to say Portland or Seattle. That was where I was going to.
All right. I like it. Okay. Which impressive Detroit Piston grabbed 34 rebounds in a single game in 1992?
Bill Laimbeer.
I'm going to say,
come on. 92, Detroit Pistons. Who's a rebounding king?
Oh, Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Come on, y'all.
Jeez.
Really locked in Bulls tenure. I always forget about the Pistons tenure.
All right, here we go.
Dennis Rodman. 32 boards? That's insane, my boy.
Listen, 34 boards. All right, I got two more. I got two more for y'all. What was the first NBA game held outside the U.S.? What country? What country hosted the first NBA game outside the U.S.?
Spain.
Germany. Yeah, you go Spain or Germany. I couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna give y'all one more guess. One more guess.
Italy.
Japan.
No way.
Japan.
There's lies in that. That's a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I need proof on that.
Now this is the easiest. Listen, matter of fact, the winner to this question, I'm gonna Venmo you $10 right now. Either one of y'all. Whoever says it first, I'm giving you $10. All right, ready? The owners of which team named their team set the pace in the NBA? What team was it?
Pacers.
Harrison won.
Get out of here.
Harrison won.
Maybe get some better Wi-Fi and you would have got first there, Strick, but you're working on that.
Yes.
I don't know what you got over there.
Listen, I really enjoyed that segment. There's lots of little factoids about the NBA. I try to give y'all on WTF. That was a pretty good segment. You guys are pretty good. Listen, I can't see if you have your phones or if you have your Wi-Fi, but or you have Google. But there's no way I'm gonna trust y'all because there's no way y'all can get those answers that fast. So
there's only one answer that Harrison did actually looked up when you disappeared for a slight minute, and that was Shaquille O'Neal with the one.
Yeah, Shaquille.
That was it.
Eric, when we come back, look, Eric gets stuck every 2 seconds. He gets stuck. Hey, listen.
I'm at my sister's house. Blame it on Midlothian.
Listen, when we come back, I want to get Eric's perspective. I'm going to give a little insight. The biggest story. This is the O.J. Simpson trial of this era. We want to know Eric's perspective of what's going on with Diddy. How does he think it's going to turn out? And I'm going to throw one more thing in there, right? Will there be any athletes? Are there any athletes that's going to be linked to this thing? Or is this strictly a music entertainment thing that you think is going to go down here?
All right.
Harrison, When we come back, let's talk about it.
Don't go anywhere.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Breezy and not nearly as hot today in Lincoln. We did manage 90 yesterday. I'm thinking 82 for a high temperature today, but wind gusts are going to be around 30 to 40 miles an hour, so hang on to those hats out there. Wind will stay with us tonight. We'll drop down to 56 for a low. We'll get up to 80 again tomorrow with, again, wind gusts up around 30 to 40 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Aaron Downer for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Summertime is here. It's time to get to Brown's Shoe Fit for their May sandal sale. From now through May 31st, get $15 off all regular price sandals. Whether it's for hiking, for the lake, or just everyday sandals, Brown's has you covered. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your summer off right with the May sandal sale at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Can't see it.
We're back. Back. WTF with Strick and Cless. Again, we want to thank you all for tuning in on Facebook, Allo, Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform you're on. We're happy to have you. And let's lead into some controversial, but something we must touch on from an OG perspective, right? This is really kind of an OG perspective because I would say Strick and I grew up on this gentleman, and to see what's transpiring, it's sad. It's eye-opening. Again, in the 90s, we got to see a hero of a lot of people go down in OJ Simpson. I will always remember where I was when that stuff was going on. It was crazy that happened. And now it's like deja vu over again, Eric. It's deja vu. We got Diddy, who brought you the Notorious B.I.G., 112, Mary J. Blige, Mace. I mean, Faith Evans. I mean, it's so many. We could just keep going on and on and on and on. He had a hand in Jodeci. He had a hand in Heavy D. I mean, so many people.
Craig Mack.
And to see what's transpiring today, what's your thoughts on it, Eric? Just give me your perspective on what do you think is going to happen, and how did we get here? How did we get here?
Well, obviously, when we started off the show, we talked about a few things, and a few of those things we talked about as conspiracies, right? And in breaking that down, I said it comes to a deal to where we have a crossroad, and we have to make a decision on which way do we decide to go. And when you have a lot of power and when you have a lot of prestige, and when I've got to be honest, we came up in a day where people with power, so I'm not going to put it in any genre. I'm not going to put it in the genre of music or in sports, or it's just people in an elevated power state had a lot of leeway to the point where if anybody said anything, it was immediately discredited. So what it created was a culture of no one speak about anything because it's me against them. They're this person. I'm little old me. Who's going to believe little old me? And those are the dynamics that have been created. And then there's still those tidbits of those situations. But what happened was the Me Too turn was what you thought. And again, all these things can be corrupted. So then corruption creeps into that because then you have the Johnny Depp situation. And then you had these believe all women. Now, again, I'm not coming against anybody. I'm just showing the cycle of how these things progress. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate that now he finds himself in this situation because you have to say to yourself, tapes have always been there. That video that we all saw, it was always there. So then you have to step back and you have to ask the question, why now? And that's what happens to me. Why now? And then you have to start to look at the people involved, the reasons why they were involved, and the purposes to why this was elevated to this stature. Very similar to Cosby, very similar to Michael Jackson, very similar. You have to ask those questions, and if you don't ask those questions, you then find yourself caught in the wave of whatever it's going to go down, whatever that track is going to go down.
So let me ask you, Eric, because I love how you brought it back to conspiracy theories, right? A lot of people believe that Diddy is in this position because he sued Diageo, who was the makers of his vodka brand. What's the name of Diddy's vodka? It was why can't I
De Leon. It's like De Leon or something like that. He wasn't Ciroc. Ciroc was paying him. It was De Leon that he was trying to break through as the why.
So some people believe that because he sued them, that in turn they were able to get the forces against him. And Eric, I gotta be honest with you. I don't believe that to be the case. Okay. Mm-hmm. What I believe was.
What about the Tory Lane situation?
stuff is still coming out.
Because it's a similar situation.
Yeah.
It's a similar situation in that he brought these ETF situation where he was changing the game. I don't want to jump off because that's another topic. We can get into it. We maybe jump into it next week. But I'm just saying, it speaks in line to what you're saying. Go ahead.
What I want to believe about Diddy is if you look through his life, he's had a multitude of situations, from the J-Lo shooting at the club, the Biggie shooting, fighting with Drake, fighting with J. Cole. He's had a number of incidences where he's just gotten away with it, right? And I just feel like he felt like he was untouchable. At some point, you got to settle down.
There it is.
Got to settle down, and he just refused to. So
there it is.
Music playing. Is that the cue?
Hear the music.
We got 10 seconds. Get us out of here, Clester. 10 seconds.
Hey, come back and see us in another week. WTF? Tune in. Peace.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska.